Hello and welcome back to Beyond 50. Today I'm going to be working on rebuilding the Cleanout, one of the Cleanout ports on my Yamaha boat. It's a pretty easy job. I've done it several times before, and it does require a Phillips head screwdriver, but that's it. So if you have a Yamaha boat and your Cleanout port is sticky or hard to get on and off, or hard to get in and out, this is something I'd recommend doing. I've done it a few times on this boat in the time I've had it. And it always seems to help. So let's get into it. All right, so on these Yamaha boats, this is a jet boat, which is nice, particularly for, look, I'm here in the canal, and this time of year, the water gets pretty low. And one of the nice things about having a jet boat is I don't have to worry about hitting my prop on the ground. So even when it's getting pretty shallow like this, I can still get out the canal and out into the lake at this time of year. But I do have a lot of weeds here. And one of the things that will happen is the impellers will suck up some of those weeds, and that affects a little bit. Part of the problem is it affects the boat performance, and then the other problem is that it actually blocks the water intake into the engines, and so your engines will overheat. So I like to make sure that particularly this time of year, if I'm sucking up potential of sucking up weeds, I always make sure that what they call pissers right here, funny name, but they just sort of piss out some water. That those are always sending water out when the boat's running. And if they don't, you do get a temperature alert, and you can shut the engines off right away. But we'll just do a quick look at where the Cleanout ports are. I keep looking at this right here, but this hatch opens up, and there's two ports here, one for either engine, and this is the one that I actually rebuilt this one a couple of weeks ago, and it comes right out real easy, and it goes right back in. They just twist out and twist back in. This other one on the left side is really hard to get out right now. Which means it's starting to fail. So what happens over time, I'm not completely sure I understand why, but this plastic starts to decompose, and it gets a little bit thicker, and it gets just a little too thick for these flanges to be able to screw in and out again. And so right now, if I were to go back and put it back in, it is a struggle to get it back in. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this apart, and we're gonna rebuild it with the rebuild kit. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take these 4 screws off right here to take off the top. That'll let me take this off, and then we'll do the rest. We'll do the rebuild somewhere else. All right, so we're gonna do this. I've got the table in here in the boat. We're just gonna do this on the boat. I've done this off the back of the boat. It's simple enough, you can do it there, but just make this a little easier to film. I figured we'd do it right here. So here is the handle that I had was just showing that we pulled off. That allowed me to, the lock strap attached right here at the bottom of it. This is our Cleanout port guy. This is what we're going to take apart, and here are new parts. There's a gasket, and there's the base, and then the kit came with new screws. In the past, I've always used the official Yamaha rebuild kits. I bought this kit for half off that price off Amazon, so we'll see how it works. It looks pretty good. There's a little chance that it won't work. So we're gonna take this guy apart and see. So first step we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this screw here out. All right, I know I said I was gonna do this with a screwdriver, but we're gonna use the drill to just make it faster and easier. Take it apart. And I'm just gonna keep all of these screws. It looks like I've got replacement screws for everything. This has even got a little bit of Loctite on it. And this looks to be the exact same screw. So everything looks fine in the kit. Once you pull this off, This comes off. Now, if you are doing this on the back of the boat, there are some parts here you want to make sure don't fall off. These are spring-loaded little guys, and they could fall right off. You don't want to lose those. So that's part of the reason I like doing it in the boat more than out of the boat. And then there's just 6 screws here, and we're just going to remove these guys. And this will come right off. And this is our old piece. It's full of water. I'm just gonna be careful not to spill it because I just don't want water all over the place in here. We'll take off this gasket, set it over here, and then we'll start reassembling things. One thing I want to check. So one of the things, actually, I'm gonna just dump this water out. On the one that I replaced last week, and it looks like it's the same thing on this one. These, I don't know, see these, they're breaking off right here. And I think that's what leads to this having increased space, is as these brackets fall apart, because I don't know why, over time. And you can see that it literally has fallen apart. Let's make sure that none of them are stuck underneath it here. Because that was one of the things I had a problem with putting it back together. It's not. I think that's why it's no longer holding together right. So that adds just a little bit of extra space, and then this guy can't go back together, or it can't go back into its hole. And I think that's our key problem. This, and then this is, you can see this is keyed. There's an extra hole or an extra port right here. If we look at the bottom of this guy, we can see that it comes together. Goes there, that goes there. Come on, you. There you go. There we go. All right, now it came together pretty nicely. Just because we can, we're just gonna wipe a little bit of grime off of here. A little grime off of here. All right, and we're just going to screw this guy back together. And just because I want to be a little delicate with it, I'm going to screw it back together with the screwdriver, just because I want to make sure everything's going in nicely, that we're not tearing out these threads or breaking off any of those brackets again, because they clearly break off. Now, I don't know if they just weather from being in the water for so long. Now, one of the things Yamaha recommends is removing these plugs anytime you're out of the water. But this boat's in the water all summer. So there's several months where it is in the water and these are submerged, and maybe they just degrade in the water a little bit. I don't know. When I first got this boat in 2020, it was a 2018, and I pulled out one of the ports to clean it out, and it would not go back in. And so I had to order a clean. I was like, what do I do? So I ordered a clean out kit, and had to wait almost a week for it to show up. And when it finally showed up, I was able to fix it. So I had like a week where I could only like limp around on the boat. One of the things, you don't want to run the engine with the cleanout port with this out of it. And you also don't want to run at speed on only one engine. If you do that, it's bad for your other engine. It'll suck water into the engine. So you can kind of go 5 miles an hour with one engine, but you don't want to go any faster than that. And you could probably go 5 miles an hour without the port in also, but you really don't want to go at speed with these out or with only one engine in. So I now generally keep an extra set of these, or an extra, at least one Cleanout rebuild kit in my garage, just in case I need one. And I did a few weeks ago. One of the ports wouldn't go back in because the same thing. I pulled it out and it just would not go back together. And having one in the garage kind of saved my day. Otherwise, I had some people out here to go boating, and it would have kind of ruined the day otherwise. So let's see here. This goes together. There we go. So we'll just sort of make sure that's in the right spot, and we're going to use this washer, and we're going to use the new screw. And this is it reassembled, and we'll put the handle here on a second, but you can see it kind of just flips back and forth like this. So you put it in the hole and then it spins. Oh, sorry, you put it in the hole like this and then it spins and that locks it in. So these tabs here fit into some grooves in the actual cleanout port, and that lets it lock in. I'm just gonna put the handle on right now, even though I don't have the cable here, just for on the back of the boat. I'm just going to try this out, and we'll make sure that it actually locks into place well, and that I can do that. And then we'll test it out, and then I'll probably just take that back off and put the safety cable back on. All right, so here's a test on whether or not I should have bought the original Yamaha one. Not in there. Does not want to twist in there. So that's not a great sign. Let's we may have to fiddle around with this for a bit. All right. So that was just me being, these are always just a little bit fiddly to line up, and it was just me not lining it up. It absolutely locked in there perfectly fine. So this is a very easy thing to do. Like I said, I've last week replaced one just sitting here on the back of the boat with no problem. It's maybe 5 or 10 minutes of time with literally just a Phillips head screwdriver. Doesn't take much to do. I would recommend keeping an extra one of these just in case you need one. There's a lot of contention on whether or not these should be lubed or not. I've had the same problems with them either lubricated or not lubricated. So that doesn't seem to make a difference. I have noticed it's a little better to keep it, it tends to not get stuck as easily if I keep a little lubrication around the metal ring part. And so I'll keep doing that. So I'll put a little lube on this one too. But I've had them swell up and fail in the same way, not having it lubricated. So I don't think that that's the case, but there's a bunch of back and forth on, you know, the forums on whether or not that's the cause of this or not. So that's it. We've did it. This should be a pretty quick video. Thanks for checking this out. One thing I'm thinking about, just a little announcement, I might be doing a rebranding on this channel. So I think I might be changing the name of it coming up soon. If I do, I'll have a video announcing that. There's just a little bit of too many other channels on YouTube with a very similar name, which makes it hard for people to find this one. So if you've been watching, if you've been checking things out here, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Trying to build this as a thing, and I appreciate everybody checking this out. So we'll see you again soon.